I can't live together with my wife anymore. I'm trying for 3 years to save my marriage, but it only gets worse. Should I divorce or try harder to fix this? A bit of context, we 39M and 38F have a son, 8M, and we are married for 9 years, together since university, 19 years in total. We both have grown in poor families, and we worked really hard to get a decent education. We both lost our parents one by one while being together, and we have no immediate support group. All our siblings are scattered around the world, as well as friends and distant family. We moved to the UK 6 years ago for better jobs and to provide our son with better education and to offer him a good start in life. We both grew up in a poor country in Eastern Europe. We have good jobs with decent income. I work in sales, and she is WFH, and we work really hard, but we still don't own a house. We did plan it, but in the last 2 to 3 years we abandoned these plans because we cannot communicate properly, partly due to work stress and tiredness, partly due to mental health issues like anxiety and depression, but mainly because of spending habits. She always picks expensive vacations for our son, and I always comply because if I don't it's hell. I try to explain. That time spent in family anywhere, even at home, must feel like a vacation, but she constantly tries to escape to overseas vacations. We did couple counseling and individual therapy. I was on antidepressants for a couple of years and we manage our stress better now. We try our best to hide our issues from our son, but he is growing more aware, and whenever he feels we are starting an argument, he is trying to distract us with silly questions and recently with bad behavior, in order to draw our attention from our argument, although we are just having a conversation, and it breaks my heart. One of the main issues is she has undiagnosed ADHD, 99% sure. She can't focus on a conversation for more than 15 seconds, starts to provoke me, and gets manipulative and emotional, eventually bringing out the worst in me, and sometimes I lose my calm. If I try to ignore it gets worse and the problem remains unsolved. If I try to tell her it is not a good time, or not when our son is here, she blames me for everything, even when we have to discuss daily problems like our son's education, errands, bills, or intimate stuff. She never admits wrongdoing, and when she does, she is being sarcastic and puts it on me. Yes, master, you are always right, as you say. Etc. I am not trying to portray her as the devil. She has good parts too. I have my parts to blame, but when I try to admit my wrongdoing, when I try to change and fix my behavior, she sees it as a personal win and goes on more and presses me harder. Basically, if I offer her a finger, she would take my whole hand. We haven't had sex in almost a year. I just can't, and she won't initiate due to being proud, but she always blames me for this, but I can't do it. I need an emotional connection which isn't there, as I have explained. Our therapist suggested divorce in an individual session because we are unhappy and we don't love each other. Therapist words: if you are unhappy together, your son will also be unhappy. He will be happy if at least one of you is happy, no matter if you are together or separated. I am worried about our future, about our son's future, and try my hardest to make things work. I don't know what to do. I mentioned to her yesterday about divorcing, and since then she went mayhem, constant blaming. She also manipulates our son. Daddy wants to leave us. Although I want to be 100% involved in my child's life, our son is way smarter, kinder, and empathic than we ever were, and I explained to him I will always be here for him and never leave him. I have never been more afraid. I don't know what she is capable of. She once hit me during the pandemic and told her GP that I used violence. The police came weeks later to investigate and found no wrongdoing, and when I brought this to the couple's counseling, she denied that she hit me and blamed me again. I am tired of being afraid. Any decision will be better now than doing nothing and accepting my fate. Please help me. Update. So, after thinking a lot about this, I decided to confront my anxieties and tell my wife I want a divorce, but first, we need to separate, me moving out, and discuss shared custody and other plans. As stated in my previous post, I previously mentioned divorce to my wife and she probably thought I was bluffing. We arranged a meeting for yesterday. We have busy schedules and our son was at school, and put all the cards on the table. I was rational and calm and she listened with her eyes fixed on me without blinking for the whole 10 to 20 minutes, which is unusual. I have explained that this is the mature thing to do and it will benefit everyone. We can't continue like this because it will destroy everyone in our family eventually. But when I finished and asked her what are her thoughts, she started to beg me to reconsider. She will change and she will rethink her life choices and we will make it work. She begged me all day long until we went to bed. She kept messaging me, sending voicemails, etc., all saying the same thing: please don't leave, we will make it work. She was all emotional and I could not get her to reason. This was her continuous reply in various ways and forms, trying to remind me of the good times and moments. I know that half of her so-called emotional arguments are true. They are exactly where my doubts are, and where our things really were working out. And she promised the other bad things she will improve and she will be a better mother and wife. After I slept over this, I am having second thoughts again. I have been rational all the time, but now I am torn. I can't even drink a coffee. People that have separated or were on the brink of divorce but gave up and moved forward being together, how did you work out things and how is life after? What were the boundaries set and how did they work?